31 days of videos every single day, and we didn't miss a day.
Yes, we did it. Yay, high five.
Yeah.
Halloween high five.
So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the light side
Of the paranormal. I'm Jenna.
I was like, I'm Jenna. And I'm Alice. And today we're going to be talking about All Hallows Eve and the history of Halloween. Because, well,
What's more fitting than talking about the origins of Halloween on Halloween?
So Halloween originated with the Celtic festival Samhain. Now it's spelt this way, but it's pronounced Samhain. And this was practiced in the areas of which we now call Ireland, the UK, and northern France. And I find this really interesting because this is actually like entirely my cultural background, is like all of these things. And specifically northern France too, which is so super cool.
Yeah.
So we kind of, well, at least I do, like
You.
have this, yeah, I'm like, no, it's me. I have a theory that like maybe people who have this like origin in their culture maybe are more in tune with this sort of thing because of this. I don't know, it's just a theory. They actually celebrated New Year's on November 1st. This was 2,000 years ago. So that's when they would have their New Year's, was November 1st. So the 31st marked the end of the harvest, and they had a big celebration that Jenna will get into later, just to close out the harvest. The belief was, and still is to this day, that the night before the New Year, the lines between the living realm and the dead were blurred.
The veil.
Yeah,
They
they
call
said
it
the lines
the
on
veil.
Yeah, it's the veil.
Which is very thin right now.
Yes. Today, it would be at its thinnest.
Yes.
So this was believed 2,000 years ago. Like, that's what we're talking about. It's nuts. So,
And it's still believed to this day that today would be the day that the veils between the living and the dead and realities and dimensions are the thinnest. Which means, because they're so thin, it's easy to communicate between
realms.
realities, realms.
Yeah, so the ghosts of their loved ones and things like that were able to come back and be on Earth with them. That's what the belief was and still is. They thought that the presence of the dead made it easier for the Celtic druids to have prophetic visions. They also felt that the presence of the dead could be why their crops were dying off to close out the harvest. And these prophetic visions provided so much comfort in a world where, you couldn't just Google what was going to happen. So they relied on these druids to give them that comfort with these prophetic visions. So everyone was kind of benefiting from the spirits being present at this time, which brings us into talking about Samhain.
Okay, so during Samhain, the druids would build these massive bonfires where they would burn the remains of their dying crops and like all their hay and their leftover corn and stuff, I would assume, probably, like the harvest vegetables and what was left. They would burn it all, and it would be this ritual. And they would also do a sacrifice of an animal, usually a cow, to their deities as an offering. So they would also dress up in animal heads and animal skins as costumes. They would dance around the fire while they were all dressed up. It would be this big party. They would also tell each other's futures by looking into the fire. I mean, this sounds like my jam. Mine is like, wearing like the dead animals and such, but I mean that was costumes back then, right? So then once Samhain came to an end, they would relight the hearth, which is like the leftovers from the fire, and burn that as a protection through the coming winter.
By the 9th century, Christian influence had spread to Celtic lands. Instead of being New Year's Day on November 1st, they changed it to All Saints' Day. It was a day to honor all who had entered heaven. But, as you can see from the title of this video, they also referred to All Saints' Day as All Hallows' Day. So November 2nd became All Souls' Day. The church was trying to replace Samhain with a more church-sanctioned holiday, where they would basically strip the culture from the Celtic people and take it for their own and put their own spin on it to be more religious in that way.
Christians and like the Catholic Church did that to a lot of not just Celtic traditions, but like Druid traditions and pagans.
But yeah, I mean, it's so touchy, right?
Okay.
So we'll try our best to be respectful to everybody because everybody has different beliefs, but this is just what happened. So All Souls Day involved big bonfires. Sounds familiar, right? And they did costumes too, except at this point they were getting people to dress as angels and saints.
Of course.
Yeah. And some devils though, but yeah, so that's what that was. Again, all very, very familiar and very similar to Samhain on All Souls Day on the 2nd. The day before All Hallows Day, which would be the 31st, was referred
All
to
Hallows Eve,
which would be referred to as All Hallows Eve. Yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, exactly.
like, apply your knowledge.
So the 31st is All Hallows Eve because it is the eve of All Hallows Day, and All Hallows Eve was the same day as the traditional Samhain was. It transformed from All Hallows Eve to Hallows Eve to Hallow Eve to Halloween, which is what we call it now. Isn't that cool? Like, making that connection. When I was like reading this, I was like, oh my god, it makes sense.
It's like the game of telephone.
Yes.
Over the years, it has kind of, you know.
It's like a Hodor moment.
A what?
A Hodor moment.
What's that?
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Well, so I wouldn't get that.
For the Game of Thrones people out there, it's a Hodor moment. Hold the door. Anyways.
Oh!
Yeah, it was just like part of the...
Okay.
Yeah, so that's sort of what happened once Christian influence kind of came into play and changed things, we'll say.
So how Halloween became Americanized, because this is not celebrated all over the world. So by the second half of the 19th century, there were lots of immigrants coming to America, lots of Irish fleeing the potato famine, and so they helped bring this tradition over. So at first they would start by having parties still to celebrate the harvest, and they would be dancing and singing. They would tell ghost stories.
So as time went on, there was a nationwide effort to soften the spookiness of Halloween, which I am kind of sad about because without studying this prior, I already kind of felt that this was happening. And I've said so many times out loud, like to different people in my life, how I don't like how cutesy and, you know, like sexy and stuff Halloween is becoming, which is very hypocritical because I'm wearing like literally a nurse costume. It's true because when I think about the Halloweens that I grew up with,
being scared was the best part.
Yeah, like my favorite memories were like, oh my god, I dare you to go up to that house.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's the scariest.
Houses that were too scary.
Yes, to go up and trick or treat to. Or like when people would like pretend to be a decoration and then jump out at you and you walk by. Like that's the Halloween that I remember. Like starting at the beginning of the 20th century, things really took a shift. So that's what we're talking about. Like passion. They turned the holiday into neighborly get-togethers and eating candy, playing games and wearing cute or sexy costumes. Sexy.
Halloween is now sexy.
Halloween. It was even encouraged to throw away any decorations that you have that would be considered grotesque or horrifying.
When the hell was
or too
this?
scary. The beginning, like the 2000s, that's when all of this kind of shift happened. And I'm upset about it. So yeah, so like I was saying, this once scary, superstitious holiday became very cute and very soft. So that's what happened. But I will say that I make an effort, especially since I've moved out of my parents' place, which now is almost 10 years ago, I've made an effort to make my house extremely scary. And some neighbors don't like it. Like I've had people complain.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't care because to me that's what Halloween is. It's
Complain
scary.
about what specifically?
I have like body bags on my front lawn.
Did they complain this year?
Well, they complained about the body bags 2 years ago. No, last Halloween.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, weird, eh?
I mean, okay, so I remember being a kid, and there was this house, well, there was a few houses. Like, it was scary. It was meant to be scary, not, like, fun.
Yeah.
And there was a house down the street that every year they went all out, and it was like, that was the defining moment where if you were going to go to this house or not, if you were brave enough to go to this house.
Yes.
And I think I only went once, and when I went, these people went all out. There was coffins all over their yard, and it was like this windy driveway, so it was a bit of a hike, and there was coffins everywhere, and they actually had a rig where this guy was wearing a harness, and he was strung up to their balcony, but he was like had a noose around his neck. You couldn't see his harness on his back, but he had a noose around his neck, and he was just like, so
that's
obviously
so
you
cool.
think that wouldn't be a person. Like, how could that be a person? And then he would be like, and try and grab you.
That's
and it was
so cool.
so crazy.
Okay, like, I know this is super morbid, but immediately when you're talking about this, my brain went to, like, imagine if that harness malfunctioned and he accidentally hung himself. It's Halloween, guys. We could talk about it. That's so cool.
That is kind of like the story that I was reading. I was looking up kind of creepy things that have happened in the past on Halloween nights, and there was a story about a boy setting up like a gallows thing in, like, staging a gallows thing for his Halloween party in his basement, and he was young, and he was like 15, and he accidentally hung himself while setting that up. So it can be dangerous. So now I think because like society is like a little bit more dangerous and stuff, like people aren't trusted, and like the whole check your candy thing, and that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, like
people being jerks and
poisoning
like,
candy, and pins and candy and stuff,
which still happens.
Yeah.
For what reason? I have the flippin' idea.
They're kids, and like, thanks for ruining Halloween for everybody.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, and I think in the US, it's obviously the crime is a little bit higher.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the kids, I think, I could be wrong, but I think a lot of the younger kids in elementary schools get off school early on Halloween, and I think they trick or treat early. Like, the big thing when I was a kid was you waited till it was dark to trick or treat, because it was scarier.
Yeah.
But now I think a lot of the trick or treating is done from like 3 to 5, especially for the younger kids.
Yeah, it's true.
When it's sunny out, when it's still daylight, when it's less dangerous, when everyone can keep an eye on everybody. So that kind of takes the spook factor out of it a little bit.
And on top of that, like, branching off of what you're saying, on top of that, some parents are even scared to bring their children, no matter the time of day, to people's doors at all.
Yes.
And they just bring them to events at the fire hall and at the mall and things like that, where they can like trick or treat at all the little stations there, instead of actually going to strangers' houses, which their fear is understandable considering like what's happened in the past.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
It's just like, I'm worried that Halloween is dying, like the Halloween that we know.
Yeah.
And it's scary to me because it's so wonderful. Don't you guys love Halloween? Well, you're watching this video, you probably do.
Yeah, like when we were kids, you went out on your own, and it wasn't scary. You could go out on your own in the dark because your neighborhood homes and your neighbors would watch out for you.
And everyone knows their neighbors back then. And
it's just not like that anymore.
Yeah. In conclusion,
happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
So we hope you have like a fantastic Halloween. Dress up, carve a pumpkin, keep the evil spirits away.
Eat candy till your belly hurts.
Yeah, do the good old-fashioned binging on candy and then feeling sick the next day.
Yeah. And, decide if you want to be that person giving out candy that gives out pop or full chocolate bars.
Oh, that was the best. Do it. Give out the cans of pop and give out the full chocolate bars.
Yes.
Don't be the people who give out apples and boxes of raisins.
Not the raisins.
Like, I literally was like,
And I would remember, I remember the people who gave me these raisins. I didn't forget. I'd be like, not going there next year.
Yeah. I'd be like, nope. And my mom would be like, lunches.
Yeah.
School lunches. We're keeping all of these.
Yeah. And also, do yourselves and the rest of us Halloween lovers a favor by being those people that make Halloween scary. Decorate your house. Be scary. Hang, fake body parts from the trees and doll heads and shit like that. Because we need to keep this tradition alive, you know? Like, I feel like Scary Halloween is an endangered species of holiday. And so, like, please, let's make this a movement today.
Even if you don't want to go to the extreme of the body parts and like the really scary stuff, that's great for the Alices of the world. But if you're not that extreme, just decorate, like put out a pumpkin. It's a lot of fun to carve a pumpkin, and you don't have to give out candy if you don't want to, but yeah, there's streets that it's just one house that is decorated. Like, it used to be every house that was decorated.
Every single one.
You were odd man out if you didn't.
Totally, and people would mention it like, oh, why? Like, you're not participating this year, Nancy? You know, like, yeah.
And I wonder why, like, I mean, I understand like the not trick-or-treating as much and stuff, but I wonder why. I wonder if there's more of a religious aspect to that. Maybe more people are scared. Maybe more people don't agree with the whole Halloween, letting their family participate in Halloween and stuff.
It's hard to say. I think that there's a lot of things. But yes, please decorate at least.
Yeah, it's a tradition. Wait, what are you doing for Halloween?
Oh, so at work, at the salon, Rogue Alchemy Beauty Lounge, my plug, shameless plug, we are dressing up as drag queens. So I'm gonna be Miss Cameron Michaels, Cameron with a K, and one of my girls is gonna be Divine, who's like the OG drag queen, and my other girl is gonna be Sharon Needles, who's like the gothy cool drag queen. So that's what we're doing at work. And then after that, I'm taking my little guy trick-or-treating with my hubby, and we're gonna go to houses that have decorated, and it's gonna be awesome. So, and then just give out candy and watch Halloween movies.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm just taking my kids out and trick-or-treating to houses that are decorated. Yeah. And I'm hoping to have like a scary house or two to like try and, you know, convince them to go to, but last year there weren't any really scary ones. And then just eat some candy and then stay up late and watch scary movies, the classic scary movies.
Yes. What's your favorite classic scary movie?
My favorite scary movies to watch at Halloween are definitely Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice.
Oh!
But I watch those like on a loop all the time.
See, I watch Edward Scissorhands at Christmas time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. So you
I mean, I have to watch it. It's one of my favorite movies, but I have to be careful when I watch it because I feel so deeply in that movie that I cry a lot.
Yeah, it's really
So it's
emotional.
not a movie that I watch like, I don't know. But Beetlejuice I watch like on a loop for the month of October, as well as Hocus Pocus.
Yes, yes.
But usually Halloween night, we do like slasher, like Scream. Other classic horror movies, like for me, were like The Ring and like The Grudge. And stuff.
So like a little bit newer, but like still really notable and good.
But my hubby's not into those, so we do like the kind of the slasher thing. Like it's very Halloweeny to do slasher movies. I feel. I
think so too.
I do horror movies all year round.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, October's when I do slasher. What are yours?
So like my number one classic horror film is the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
I've never seen that.
Oh, we have to watch that sometime too. It's so good. I love that Freddy so much. It really, really scared me. I found that it was like the first time that, like, obviously I was younger when I had seen it for the first time. First time that I had ever found myself in a situation where I couldn't talk myself into thinking that it wasn't real and like help myself calm down about it because he comes when you fall asleep. And like I really found that cool that they played off of that. Like, you know how some people are like, oh, like now I'm scared of showering alone because of this movie.
Psycho or
so
something.
for them, like for the Nightmare on Elm Street crew, like the people who made it, they were like, well, everyone has to sleep at some point, so let's get them then, and then everyone will be scared. So anyways, I just find that whole concept really, really cool. And it's just like, he has like so many snappy one-liners and stuff. It's really, really good. So yeah, that's my favorite. But as far as like Halloween movies go, like Halloween Town, it's a little bit like newer, but it's really, really good. I love that. Yeah, Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic.
Yeah, that's one of my top favorite movies in general. Not necessarily.
So good. Yeah, it's not really Halloween. It's just like witchy.
Yeah. The Craft, that's another one of my favorite movies,
Yeah, The Craft.
I mean, this is turning into a whole other video. It's just like naming favorite spooky movies, but anyway.
So comment down below what one of your favorite movies is to watch on Halloween. And if you have any like spooky things that had happened to you on Halloween,
or your scariest Halloween or something,
send us an email of your story.
Or put it in the comments. And also make sure to give this video a like if you still love Halloween. Oh my god. If you still decorate for Halloween, if you like Halloween, like this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you like our content, or if you like paranormal content in general. And thank you so much for being with us for 31 days of Halloween. If you didn't watch every day, now you have a ton of videos to catch up on. And
Binge it, Netflix style.
And we will be coming out with videos every week now, like we did before October. November is going to be a really fun, lighthearted, spiritual growth kind of month.
We have plans.
Yeah, we won't tell you. You'll have to wait, but it's going to be good.
Keeping it light for the light side after the spooky months.
Yeah. Yeah. So happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good Halloween night.